Hey, what's up everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so it's hot, man, which means there are a few things I'm gonna have to remember. One, my phone could overheat at any moment because when it's hot, that tends to be a thing. And yeah, just that's about it. Stay hydrated, that's really what it is. But yeah, man, feeling pretty good. About 90 degrees, getting out here, gotta do some things. It's only gonna heat up from here. It's gonna be 90 plus all week long, with the highest expected to be like 98. So this is just like July, August, all over again. And it's weird weather all over the country right now. We're getting a lot of highs and lows, real quick highs and lows, real quick highs and lows all over the country, man. Last week we had our low at night, or the week before last rather, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, and got as low as 38 at night. And now we're running into something as high as 98 in a matter of 2 weeks. That is a weird swing. And I was talking to my uncle and some people on my Bible study list. They were saying that they having weird swings as well. Dropped 40 degrees in one day in like DC. Wild stuff, man. Wild. So yeah, I don't know what to say. I just think that we need to just condition ourselves for the idea that this is what reality is for us from here on out. It's going to be some weird swings in the weather. And that's it. So, yeah, man, I've been feeling pretty good. Happy in the room I'm in. Good shower, good bed. Nice spot. It's close to the door, just like the last room I was in. So, I've been very happy with that. Just got to do a little grocery shopping. Grab a few things. Figured it makes sense to do that today, even though I haven't fully ran out. Since it's only going to get hotter, I might as well enjoy it. You know, the fact that it's not steaming right now. You know, so you can get out there, do it now, and then on the days where it's really, really hot, probably just stay in the room, do some art, stay near that AC. That's the plan. It's supposed to really be hot this weekend. I think it's when it's supposed to really heat up. So yeah, man, just dealing with it. Not much going on with me that I can think of right now, but just paying attention to all my interests, paying attention to what's being said in the internet about the war and things like that. Just staying consistent with my exercise stuff, Lakers stuff. You know, yesterday this Bible study, as I mentioned, it was really good. And, you know, just maintaining. There's not a whole lot that's been going on. Doing a lot of art, adding to my art collection of things that I've been making. Pretty quality stuff, nothing too serious. I got a playlist to make. Wasn't a whole lot of music that dropped this past Thursday, but I found some things that I can use. Just haven't sorted through it yet, so I'll be able to do that one of these days that I'll likely be hiding from the heat. So yeah, man, nothing too spectacular. Since getting into the room, just enjoying what I have there. So yeah, man, just trying to keep up with everything that's going on in the world. That's really what it is. Lebanon, it's a lot of sadness going on there because Israel is trying to ethnically cleanse Lebanon. So they have had, from what the numbers I heard last night before I went to sleep, was 800 people killed, 107 of them children in Lebanon. And they're doing the same, they're running the same plays, bombing hospitals, double tapping and stuff like that, waiting for, a double tap is essentially bombing a place and then waiting for the first responders to get there and then bombing them again, as we talked about several times. That's something they've been doing. And I don't know, man. I just think I feel vindicated in what it is I've been saying. You know, if a person or a group has a bloodlust, they're not going to stop. They're not going to hold themselves accountable. And if you tell them they can get away with it, you show them they can get away with it. Let's keep them from doing it again. And that's exactly what you're seeing. It's what I told y'all would happen. When you let a people get away with genocide, they're going to continue to commit this genocide. And we already know what their intention is. We know exactly how much land they want, what land they want. So all this was inevitable. The Greater Israel Project consisted of several lands surrounding the current occupied land of Palestine. And so anything that makes up that ugly shoe-looking map that they're trying to create, it's going to be treated like Gaza. They're going to kill everybody there, run everybody else out that happens to survive that genocide, and then proceed to build whatever they feel like building there. And they feel vindicated in that for religious reasons. And they want to use the American government and the American military to take down the greatest of their resistance, which is Iran. They know they don't stand a chance against Iran if they to fight Iran outright. And so they were able to weasel their way into our country, and they know if they throw our military at them, they could potentially win the war. That allows for them to throw that land into chaos, and then they can be the most imposing superpower in the Middle East. Now that's really what they're trying to do. They want to be the most imposing superpower in all of the Middle East. And so they can't have Iran around there, who's not aligned with them, who they can't seem to compromise with their ways of doing things, who they can't seem to get to just bow to them, so they got to destroy it. So that's what's happening with the Iran situation. They ain't got a chance against Iran unless they grab our military to do the job. And unfortunately, that's exactly what they've been able to gain the leverage in doing. And so that's what this war is really about. The American people have been sold a lie about winning this war. We're not winning the war. If we throw our all at it, we could probably overcome them. But we're gonna lose probably 1 million soldiers to do it. Probably 1 million soldiers. No exaggeration. This is what we would expect to lose in quote unquote defeating Iran. And there's no guarantee that we would even be able to do that. That just gives Israel the best chance at defeating Iran. See, that's what it's about. It's about giving Israel the best shot at defeating Iran. This ain't got nothing to do with the American people. It doesn't benefit us at all. If anything, in winning this war and defeating Iran, we gain leverage over Israel against the U.S., as I mentioned before several times, because then they don't need the U.S. for as much. It ain't as necessary to keep us hanging around. Basically, they don't really need us for anything. It's just not about the U.S. gaining anything. It's about the Greater Israel Project forming while simultaneously making it so that Iran is not a problem for that project. For which, in all reality, Iran probably wouldn't be a problem for that project, but you're not moving on the reality of things. You're moving off of the standards that Israel and the Zionists believe are necessary for their survival. Iran could very well mind their own business and allow the greater project to come into fruition and succeed. But Israel doesn't feel like the world is big enough, or the Middle East is big enough for both them and Iran to exist, so Iran gotta go. It's not even like Iran saying, yo, we're gonna stop this from happening, or we're gonna be a problem for Greater Israel. They're not. But that they're sitting there with all that power and might makes Israel paranoid. So that's what this war is really about. It's about easing the paranoia of a genocidal, maniacal, demonic entity known as Israel. That's what it's about. Making them feel better. And in making them feel better, we all are sacrificing not only our children in this war, but our leverage as a superpower ourselves. Because you got to think, if Greater Israel is trying to be the biggest superpower in the world, then where does that leave U.S.? somewhere behind that. If we stay alongside them, we can be a weapon for them, but they have no problem delivering us at Baal's doorstep. They will sacrifice us to make themselves feel better, just like they're sacrificing Iran to make themselves feel better. They don't want any superpowers in place. So essentially, you winning this war is rendering yourself useless to the new powers in play. The last thing that's best for this United States is to remove Iran from Israel's midst. Because then the next greatest power that they have to overcome is potentially you. And of course, China, of whom they're going to likely want us to go to war with after they finish doing whatever they're doing with Iran. They're going to want to wipe China out to whatever degree is possible, so that China can't be a rival superpower in their Israeli world, which is essentially what it is that they're trying to do. Take over the damn world. And eventually, they're going to want all of these people's lands. They don't want the whole world to be run by Israel. They're going to want America, for which they already have pretty much. They're going to want Canada. They're already trying to take over South America. They're going to want Australia. They don't want the whole world, man. They're going to want Africa. Although they own a good portion of the countries in Africa, they're going to want all of it. They want the whole thing, man. Their ambition knows no end. The measures they're willing to take know no bottom. And they'll sacrifice as many as their own to accomplish their goals. And this is what people need to understand. This is what Iran specifically must understand. While you're destroying the land of Israel, there's reserving more land. What you got to understand and what you have to keep in mind is they will sacrifice their own. So they don't care that you're destroying the current land of Israel, because what they plan on doing is expanding that thing 3 and 4 times and then building it all up differently. They don't care if you sacrifice all of these quote unquote Israeli citizens. They don't give a damn about them settlers. You can blow up them buildings they got. They don't care about that. They're out trying to reserve more land any damn way. The people that Iran is truly at war with do not reside in Israel. And that's what the Iranians and all of the anti-Zionist people out here need to understand. You may have some enemies in Israel, but the ones who are calling the shot are not in Israel. They're in other places, particularly big, huge mansions and islands. You understand what I'm saying? Those are the people that you actually are at war with. Those are the people who are actually behind all of what it is that's coming at you. And if you're not sure of that, and you thinking that bombing the land of Israel is going to win you the war, then you're not actually playing the right game if you're Iran or if you're Hezbollah. That's not who you're at war with. You're at war with these billionaire Israelis that don't live in Israel. They live in Florida. They live in California. They live in Europe. These people reside in spaces all over the globe, everywhere. They live on planes in a lot of cases. They're constantly moving from one home to the next. They're wherever they want to be because they're the 1% in this world. And that's what I've come to understand. And that's why I mentioned very recently that if you're one of those individuals, you need to up your security. Because if I, regular layman walking down damn random street in California, then figured out who my real enemy is if I'm going up against y'all, then you best believe that these superpowers like Iran, who are much more intelligent than me, also know who to kill. They know who to kill. And if they're not intentional on killing those people and rendering what their power is ineffective, then they're knocking off a bunch of gumshoes and pawns on the board. You're not actually getting the kings and the queens, dog. And so all this talk about, oh, they killed Ben Giver. Oh, they killed, potentially have killed Benjamin Netanyahu. Man, these people was puppets. They were puppets. Ben Giver was a wild dog. He had no damn real power. He was just a nut job that they utilized to do things. He wasn't the main structure behind what's going on. He ain't the guy. He ain't the gal. No. He was just one of many pawns that they use, wild dogs that they use to do their dirty work, man. They would never even rub elbows with this person, and that's what it is. I understand it. The ones who are controlling everything, they don't want that dude anywhere near them no more than I do. They don't want that dude nowhere near them. They wouldn't deal with that filth. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? That's what I understand about them. They gave people like that their marching orders. That is not who's running the show, man. And so do I think Benjamin Netanyahu's dead? I don't know, man. They are releasing a lot of AI footage trying to represent him, saying that he's alive. He ain't alive. In my opinion, if they have to do all that, he's probably already with the enemy of God in the hot places. If I'm a guessing man, I say Benjamin's dead, yo. And what I've been hearing from reliable sources is that they have been hearing from their reliable sources that Benjamin got hit on the 1st or the 2nd of March. And what essentially the story is that after he had survived the bombing that initially hit his house that also killed his brother, but he was in critical condition. And I guess from what I understand, they were trying to find somewhere in Europe for him to lay his head and recover and get the surgeries he needed and all that. And most of the European countries denied them safe haven for him. And the only one that gave him safe haven, from what I understand, was Germany. Berlin, I think, allowed him to lay his head there. He was induced into a coma, and he never woke up. He died on the 11th of March. That's what is being told to the people that I've been listening to. But they haven't been able to confirm that. So that's what I've heard. That is hearsay. I've yet to see anything credible that backs that up, and neither have the people that told us that. And that was their disclaimer. This is mine. I don't know that to be true. But that's what's going around. I ain't heard that from multiple people who've heard that from different people, so whatever. From what I understand, Ben Giver, they didn't have any update. Last time I heard on him, he was in critical condition, also bombed. They hit his house. He didn't die in that, but was close to death when it hit. And I ain't heard no update from him. So that's the last I heard on him. Most people think he's also dead. So it's like, and the beat goes on. Lebanon's still losing 800 people. Because it was never about those figureheads, man. They weren't the ones running the show. Israel getting bombed at every street corner, every building in Israel is looking like Gaza right now. You think it's stopping what quote-unquote Israel's doing? No. Because the people who are running the show ain't living in Israel. They're not there. They're safe. Probably somewhere in Beverly Hills or something. People who are really pulling the strings for Israel are not in Israel. They're at the damn Mavericks game. You understand what I'm saying to you? Seriously. So this is why I say, hey man, we're gonna have to understand that hating these figureheads is useless. You can despise them, whatever. You can dislike what you can feel however you feel, but thinking that killing them is gonna relieve the Palestinian people and the Lebanese people and bring victory to the resistance. No, the people that they actually need to defeat are nowhere near them. Nowhere near them. And if they're gonna win the war, they gotta have a way to reach people that they're not in a position to shoot at, man. People are likely surrounded by more security than the president. More effective security than the Secret Service, if they got any damn sense. And so that's what I'm saying to all of you guys, man. You just gotta be very, very wise, very awake. Hey, how we doing? Very awake as it pertains to what the real threat is to quote unquote democracy. It's not individuals who are fighting, it's the individuals who are calling the shots behind the people who are fighting. It's not just the people who appear to be calling the shots, it's the people behind the people who appear to be calling the shots. People who move the money around, people who really have leverage. That is who actually is the enemy of Palestine, actually the enemy of Hezbollah, actually the enemy of all these different entities that they call terrorists, the enemy of Iran. You know what I mean? It ain't some 21-year-old kid holding a damn gun. It's not. Or some doofus in office with a lot of charisma. No, not at all. So that's what I want to say, man. And I don't think that's a hot take at all. I don't think too many people who actually are paying attention to everything I'm paying attention to have any other thought about it. I want everybody who follows me to understand what I understand. You know, that's what it really comes down to. This is a spiritual war. God has his eyes on every player in every part of the game. And it's going to play out the way the Lord wants it to play out, whether the devil has a lot of stake in the game or not. It don't really matter. That's what I know from a spiritual standpoint. And I'm not surprised to see Israel get destroyed like this. But I'm not confused to think that's a win. I'm not confused to think that's going to slow down what they're doing, because it's not. It's not slowing down anything. And they threw their own people under the bus. I've been saying this the whole time. They will be very pleased to sacrifice any and all of their own people to accomplish their goals. They don't care about this generation of anybody at all. They don't care about you. So if you're sitting there fighting for them, you don't really perceive your own position on their chessboard properly. Fighting for them or rooting them on as they continue to move, they don't need you at all. Random human being. They don't need you. You're rooting for them, they're not rooting for you. They will offer you up to slaughter to accomplish their goals. They will kill you off in a false flag mission if you happen to be where they set that mission up. Whoever you are, you can die. Like, that's really what it comes down to when it comes to this entity. Know what a win looks like, America. Know what a win looks like, resistance. Know what a win looks like, Hezbollah. Know what a win looks like. You can target these buildings. These buildings have puppets in them. Oh, you got this building. We destroyed this building. If you didn't get where them billionaires is at, you didn't get it. You didn't knock off nothing. And I see that they're targeting banks, targeting hotel rooms. They probably got a better shot of killing who they need to kill doing that than they do on the field against soldiers. And if I'm being honest with you. Because I know Iran's been throwing bombs at people in Dubai and stuff like that. That's probably more likely. You're probably more likely to get who you need to get doing that. It's messed up. But this is what it is. And you know, the average American and the average Western person, they don't care what happens to you or your economy. They don't give a shit if you kill each other off and eat each other from starvation. They don't really give a damn about what happens to you. They don't care. You can do everything they want you to do and they'll still offer you up to slaughter, no problem. You can say all their talking points, play their game exactly the way they want you to play it, and they still got an expiration date for you. They still got a plan to blow up whatever you standing in to make themselves look like they're the good guy. Like they're the victim. They'll blow up a few of their own while they're killing you off. Make you look like it don't matter who you are, fam. That's the point. The whole generation the entirety of humanity as we currently live are disposable to these people, man. They don't really have any reservations about slaughtering the entirety of humanity. They really don't. And it's a win-win for these people. I've been telling us that if you look at it through a spiritual lens, as I often talk about, then you'll understand that they win based on the measures that they have either way. Offer all of us up to ball, that's exactly what they want to do. If they can convert the rest of the remaining individuals who survive to follow them, that's a win. If they can have everybody up in arms and miserable and devastated and crying and confused, yeah, that's a win. Whatever creates chaos, destruction, mass frustration, pain, win for these people. Win. All of that. Win. They celebrate no matter what. The only thing they don't celebrate is if we all collectively come together, start praying to God, start helping one another, start knocking off who they are against that for which they've trained us all not to. All them evil individuals who control everything. When you start making life very uncomfortable for them, when they can't have their banquets without hearing you saying free Palestine, that's what really frustrates them. You know what I mean? Any type of non-support coming from you is the worst thing in the world to them. They need you to be supportive of whatever they have going on, while simultaneously willing to die for them. If you don't, you're insulting them. What do you mean you won't die for Israel? That's insulting. What do you mean you questioning what it is that we have going on? Insulting to them. It's beneath you to them to rely upon any balance as it pertains to racial relations or any type of reality as it pertains to your religious beliefs. If you're aligning with something that goes against their narrative, you're eating away at their sensibilities. You're hurting their feelings by telling the truth. This is what it is. This is what I've come to understand. You're insulting them and you're breaking their hearts by being honest. Breaking their hearts by not allowing them to kill people and be considered the victims. You are absolutely and utterly breaking their hearts by being aligned with something greater than yourself and being willing to sacrifice in the name of that. And if you're not doing evil, you're crushing their spirit. It's true. What I'm doing right now brings them to tears. They can't believe that a person underneath what it is that they've created for my mind, the propaganda and the culture that's supposed to make me align with what it is that hates myself and loves their wealth, they can't seem to understand why I and others like me won't just bow, won't just roll over and die for Israel. They've done everything they're supposed to do to make me fine with everything they want to do. To never look at them crazy, to never question whether or not I'm beneath them, to never think of myself as more than anything than a human being that's supposed to be chasing money and feeding my own physical desires. I'm supposed to be too compromised of an individual as a human being to ever desire anything outside of those parameters. I'm supposed to be so aligned with my political party, for one of which they control either way, based on my religious intentions or my identity politics, that I'm supposed to line up with one of the two sides that they said, Democrat or Republican, and just vote along the lines necessary. If I'm a black person, I'm obviously supposed to be voting for anybody black. Booker, whoever the lady, what's her name? Kamala, anyone, you know, they pick up, they've paid a lot of black people, some black lady that they paid the most money to, from what I understand. She got like $7 million from AIPAC. I'm supposed to align with her because of skin color, you feel me? Because identity politics, as a strong black woman, as a mother of the earth, as a black man, I'm supposed to align with her and all this other goofy stuff. And of course they have her in their back pocket. She gonna do exactly what they want her to do. I'm supposed to be entirely too shallow, money-making, sex-hungry, fearful of poverty, too focused on trying to dig my way out of that to even consider any of these other things. I'm supposed to be way too lost in the sauce, too drugged out of my mind, too focused on just shallow stuff to even consider such big picture conversations, such as what the hell's going on in the Middle East. And if I'm conservative, I'm supposed to be too MAGA. The only enemies I have are people that are dressed up in dresses as men, or women that want to be males. Those are the people I'm supposed to be terrified of, and people with hijabs and anybody that prays in Islamic faith, religion, practices. Those are the enemies. Those are the most evil, heinous. Gotta remove them from the earth in order for us to be safe. Be fearful of them. Don't worry about how they're being persecuted for their religion. That's fine, because they are incompatible with us. We're Christians. We don't vibe with them. They are our natural born enemy. We align with the Jews. The Jews and Israel's what it's really about. Like, we're supposed to be so caught up in that mush, brain rot propaganda that even if I see a 3-year-old Palestinian child no longer with us, I'm supposed to be like, well, he was going to grow up to be a terrorist and he didn't believe in Jesus, and they were going to, make it so that women would never be able to show their skin. They're just the worst thing in the world. They're so much safer when they're dead than when they're wearing a hijab. Like, I'm supposed to be thinking so much of that I don't consider how ridiculous the behavior that's being pointed at them actually is. Slaughtering their children and stuff. It's like, it doesn't matter because they're not Christian. It doesn't matter because they're not America. It doesn't matter because they are bad guys. Even though the people who are telling me they're bad guys been doing bad things, proving themselves to be untrustworthy with every waking word they use. But I'm not thinking about any of that. I don't care about any of that. Why? Because the Lakers are on tonight. Because Seattle just won the Super Bowl. Because the Oscars were on last night. What are your priorities? Worried about international concerns? Didn't you see your black brother win the Oscar yesterday? Type stuff, man. I'm telling y'all, bro. That's breaking their hearts that I'm thinking this way. That I'm actually considering what happens to the 120, maybe more Iranian little girls that they bombed a couple weeks ago? Or the 107 kids that we mentioned that passed away or were murdered in Lebanon a few days ago? 800 people that they killed in Lebanon a few days ago? How the hell should I be worried about that as a black man when I'm watching Michael B. Jordan win the award? Type stuff, man. I'm telling y'all, bro. This is what they need. They need us to be so far up our own behinds that the only thing we can smell is our own backside. Certainly not what they cooking up in the Middle East. Certainly not this greater Israel project where they can expand the land and do more of the same that they're doing in the land that's being destroyed right now elsewhere. No. Don't pay attention at the last footage you saw of Benjamin Netanyahu. He had 12 fingers. Don't worry about all that. You're supposed to ignore all that because the reality is your favorite team plays tonight and you really need this win. Anything less than that is hateful toward them and their people. I'm just not gonna be stupid for them, man. I don't know how to be, man. I'm sorry, I'm awake. I don't know what to tell you. Do better in your propaganda. Cover your tracks better so that you can be believable. Tell the truth every once in a while. Throw us a bone so we have some reason to trust you. You're not gonna do it, are you? Nope, not gonna do that. So don't expect for me to be stupid for you when you're not doing a good enough job of being believable for me. Telling me I'm winning a war. Everywhere I look, we're showing off bombs that are bursting in our damn boats and stuff, our big ships getting destroyed out there. You telling me we're winning a damn war? Where? I'm supposed to ignore my lying eyes and listen to your pandering? That doesn't work when my eyes are telling me otherwise, man. That only works when I can't see what's going on. That only works when I don't have independent media literally speaking to me about every damn thing. Can't work that. You look crazy. They want us to play stupid for them so they don't have to try harder in being believable for us. Because it's beneath them to be believable to us because we're just goy. We're not supposed to be smart enough. This is a glitch in the matrix in regards to them. Why are we doing homework? This is supposed to be easy. They're supposed to be able to control us, no problem. And we're not supposed to say nothing. We're not supposed to feel nothing. We're not supposed to do nothing. What exactly they want us to do, and that we're not doing that is like, nah, they're not even agreeing with what they're seeing in regards to us. Nah, they're gonna believe. Just keep doing it. It's absolutely not possible that the goy think past what it is we provided them. No. Ignore the goy. They're not even worth. That's how they look at us. We're not even worth their effort in that regard. We're not even worth the effort. Who cares what we're doing doesn't work? It doesn't matter. Just keep doing it. What are they going to do? That's how they look at us. What are they going to do anyway? The slop didn't work? Oh well, just move forward. You don't care if we kill most of ours anyway. They can just fight with our people if they want. If it comes down to it, just have them beating up all the Jews. We're nestled safely behind our security and our mansions. If it gets too bad, we'll just use a nuke on them. We'll be in our bunker somewhere else in a different land. That's exactly what these people are going to do. And so for me, it's just like, well, I mean, I just continue to listen to God, continue doing what I'm doing, because obviously they're in a space of psychosis and denial about what it is my capability is as a human being, because they believe their own lies so much that when it's time to actually adjust, they refuse to do so. It's beneath them to adjust, even though it's necessary that they adjust for the sake of the effort they've already put in being disruptive and being deceitful and lying. To follow through on the lie, they would have to do something that's beneath them, which is to capitulate to the idea that I'm actually intelligent enough to do a little homework on the lies that they tell. So it's like, until they're willing to do that, until they're willing to swallow their ego, we can just have the upper hand as it pertains to intellect, because at the end of the day, we're learning the truth while they're in denial about our ability to understand the truth. You see how that works? Because they don't even believe we're capable of receiving the information. We can sit here and receive the information and then look at them struggle to adapt to the reality of what it is that they're faced with, which is we are in fact intelligent enough to see through their lies, especially when shown so much evidence of the contrary. So that's what it is, man. I just trust God, man. Work on my own self. Ask God to help me through my sin nature. Help me have a stronger relationship with Him, while my enemy sits in some psychosis about what it is I'm capable of doing. While he sits in some space saying it's beneath him to follow through on his own damn effort and trying to control me. And I continue to use my voice, much to his chagrin, not reaching for any of the things that he says I should want to reach for in order to be quote unquote successful, because the measure of success I'm going for have nothing to do with what it is he's placed in front of me, because I see through all his nonsense. And then following the interests of the Holy Spirit, of whom is destined to defeat him. And so I'm nestled in the spaces that he doesn't care to look at, being a person that he doesn't think much of, nor doesn't see as a threat, telling the truth that he's at war with to anybody who will listen, so that they can share it with everybody who will listen to them. Continuing to be right about what it is that the Lord puts in my heart to speak on this channel about, in regards to that same enemy who really runs from that same truth about himself that he makes so easy for the rest of us to see. If he don't mind losing, then he's in the right place. Because that's exactly what he's taking it. His losses. Left and damn right. And his bigger, greater Israel plan, his bigger picture plan is also at risk because of his psychosis slash denial slash underestimating the people of God, also known as the Goy. And that's exactly what we are. That's exactly what we are. God's obedient youth, man. That's exactly what we are. And so, I have no problem with my position in this situation as it pertains to just being a lowly YouTuber with no money. You know what I mean? I have no problem with that. I think the Lord put me exactly in the position he wanted me to be in, to absorb as much of the truth that they run from and to be able to relay as much of that truth without disruption as humanly possible. And I'm exactly what the Lord wants me to be, doing exactly what the Lord wants me to do. And I couldn't be more pleased with that. And, you know, I would tell all of you guys that that is exactly what you should want for yourselves as well. The measures of man put the future at risk. If you're off the chessboard as it pertains to what the Lord wants you to do, you're playing into the hands of the enemy of God. So chasing money, chasing all these different things, if that doesn't feel absolutely right to your spirit, if you don't understand that to be what God wants you to do, you should probably cease doing it. You know, doing deals with the devil for the sake of leverage, picking a side, all in regards to different things that the devil has put in place to divide and conquer you with. If you're doing any of those things that play into the hand of the people of the devil, you need to understand that it's in God's best interest to move you off the chessboard. That's what it is. In the world of spiritual warfare, the idol are unnecessary. And just like the enemy of God is intentional on putting all of us up for sacrifice, I believe it's in the best interest of God to also consider moving on from some of us if we're not going to line up with him. And that is what I'm telling all of y'all. You better get right with God, man. I've been telling y'all this for months, that the idol is in grave danger at this point. The idol are in grave danger at this point, man. If you don't hold any purpose, if you're not looking to better yourself or gain some type of understanding of a spiritual sense, and to be in line with the Holy Spirit on whatever it is he's trying to do, if you're just looking to take advantage of whatever you can take advantage of and don't really have any real purpose in helping God defeat this enemy, there's a world that you won't be a part of very soon. It's not your timeline gonna be up, man. I'm telling you. And you can see it. The Lord is starting to erase some of these people on the chessboard. You can see it. People who had big voices, big voices over just a month ago, you ain't gonna hear them people no more. And if you do hear from them, they're gonna be AI. Why? Because I was telling you what the Lord put in my heart, and he was speaking the truth. That the idol will not be here much longer. Some of y'all thinking y'all doing so much trying to move your own plans, play both sides of the fence, align with the Epstein class on whatever it is they trying to do. Man, I'm telling you, you're gonna be gone before anybody realize you out of here, man. You better get right with God. Stop doing the stuff you're doing. Stop making the excuse of, well, they were in charge, so I just aligned with them. That's what a lot of y'all are saying. Well, I didn't want to put at risk. You can see what happens when people buck them. Things put at risk. It's just, I got to secure my bag. I got to secure my family legacy. Man, none of that stuff is going to exist in the world they're trying to create for all of us, man. They're going to wipe y'all away. You ain't going to have none of that shit. It ain't going to be there. That land that you have hopes, 200, 300 year hopes for, so too does the enemy of God. He has hopes for that land. He's taking it. That's the elephant in the room. A lot of y'all banking on legacies and abiding by ownership and leverage games that aren't going to be worth a damn thing. Ain't going to be worth nothing. And the very thing that you will have sacrificed, your dignity, your good name, your honor, that's going to be the stuff that's going to really be what matters tomorrow. And y'all still playing the game with these devils, hoping that I'm wrong. And that's your business, man. We all gotta live with our decisions. Some of y'all who are very, very well off today gonna be either dead tomorrow or without a home tomorrow, man. And it's gonna be because you counted on the wrong entities. You're gonna be at the mercy of good people handing out free things when you've in your lifetime will experience great wealth. Mark my words, because that's what a lot of y'all headed toward. Y'all wealthy today, y'all gonna die broke. Because this dollar ain't gonna be worth shit. That land gonna be snatched from you. That legacy ain't gonna even matter in the world we headed into. And what people gonna remember you for is your complicity nature that enabled all of that to come to pass. They'll know if you would have stood up, if you would have spoken up, if you would have diverted away from Israel and Zionist supremacy, you could have did something to prevent all of that nonsense that was ultimately coming to pass at that point. But you refused to, and kept playing the game the way they wanted you to, and you're gonna run into the consequences that come from that reality. Everybody doing exactly what they wanted them to do led us to what it is that ultimately everybody gonna hate living through tomorrow. And if just a few more people would have stepped up in positions that could have made a difference, could have avoided all of it, but y'all refused to because y'all was too afraid to do so, man. Too afraid to do so. And your fear and your lack of belief in a God coerce you toward the consequences that come from not believing in God. You know what I mean? That's literally it. Or praying to a God that could do nothing for you. Sacrificing to a God that couldn't even eat. That's a real thing. A lot of y'all feeding a fake God that doesn't even have a belly. He doesn't even have a stomach. You try and feed him children and shit. It's not even a real person. It's not even a real spirit. There's no spiritual energy connected to that thing at all. Doesn't exist. You're praising nothing at all. Bdf 44, thank you all for watching. I'm out.